So the other night I was trying to explain essentially um, how to do a best climb speed. Um, so I was saying, set our manifold pressure to 1.15 and pitch for 300, or set your manifold pressure to 1.3 and pitch for 300. And so essentially, whenever you take off, um, you want to fly a little more flat and level. Don't pitch up too much, and allow your speed to get to 280 to 300, maybe 310. And as it starts to climb beyond 300, you're going to have back pressure, and to maintain 300. And that way, as you keep flying, it keeps increasing speed. You keep adding back pressure, maintaining 300, and that way you should get a faster climb rate. And if you try to pitch too early, of course, what happens? Under 300, um, and you just keep adding back pressure, and you're increasing power and all that good stuff. You're not going to climb, and you're going to fall behind, or burn up your engine, or any number of things. So essentially, it's you only have 1 minute of emergency power in the F4, and I should probably go over this real quick. I'll just mute that. So if you look at the gauges, you got the main six there right in front of you, and reading from left to right and top to bottom. If we look at the top left, we have our altimeter, and then below that we have our speedometer. In the middle, our compass, and then below that we have our turn indicator. So you have the little ball. So if you want to do your, I'm trying to include that where fly the ball. So basically, try to keep the ball centered. So for coordinated turns and all that kind of stuff, and that helps reduce drag, and gives you a little edge on energy. And then top right is our ATA, that's our manifold pressure, and then below that is our RPMs, and then to the right of that is, it looks like a clock, that's our prop pitch, and then to the right of that you'll see the gauge with the arc, green and brown, and that's our water and oil temp, and then below that is our fuel, and below that is, I believe, oil pressure and fuel pressure. Um, so most of the time I'm watching my ATA gauge, my manifold pressure, and my speed and altimeter. That's pretty much what I have a big eye on. So once once wheels are up, as soon as my wheels are off, I want to reduce my power to 1.15, and then I'm going to watch my speedometer and just keep it, again, just keep an eye on that, and let it climb to 300 and keep adding the back pressure. But once my manifold pressure's set, I'm not worried about that. Now I'm just looking at my speed and my altimeter, and then as my um, speed is maintaining my speed at 300, and I'm maintaining that, I'm looking more at my altimeter. And so my manifold pressure's set, I'm maintaining 300. Now I'm just keeping an eye on my altimeter as I climb to 1,000. And of course, then as I climb to 1,000, and I'm hitting about 800, 900, I'm going to reduce my manifold pressure more, so that basically I'll bring it down to 0.7 as I'm hitting 1,000 meters on the altimeter. So that way, as I'm climbing up, maintaining 300, and I start to level off, and then reducing power, that should help keep my speed, in the 350 range. So again, trying to do an energy efficient climb up to 1,000, which we're maintaining 300, and as I level off, reducing power, so we're going to still kind of stay in around 350. And then if you're winging, basically you can go ahead and leave your manifold pressure. You might go ahead and set your manifold pressure to 1.3 at wheels up. Just bring it down to 1.3. Same thing, watch your speed. And what that'll do is that'll allow you the extra energy to kind of line up and get into formation. And then just use your best judgment as bringing your manifold pressure down to 1.5. But that gives you the power leeway to hopefully, catch up and get right into formation. So, anyways, let's take it off pause, and then I also look at, I keep an eye on my trim. I trim a lot, so I want to make sure, again, if you're not using tool tips, I'll keep an eye on that. And then as I adjust my trim, I'm looking at my wheel. Let's go ahead and set that back to 2. Let's go ahead and set our flaps to 20 degrees. So I'm looking at the flap where it hinges. You can see the one solid line, then 2 lines, so that's 10 degrees, 20, and if you keep going, you'll see 3 lines, 4 lines, and so it's 10, 20, 30, 40 degrees flap. Alright, so let's see if I can do this right. So again, I'm going to reduce it down to 1.5 on the ATA, and then I'm going to let it reach 300 kilometers an hour, and then keep adding back pressure to try to maintain 300. So I'm going to rotate at 180, gear up, reduce power, 1.15, flying a little crooked, start bringing my flaps up, and I'm watching my speed, and if I want I can go ahead and start my turn. Again, not pitching too high, just waiting for my speed to hit 300. And now as my speed just keeps increasing, I'll just keep adding back pressure to maintain 300. See the speed starts to increase, go ahead and start add more back pressure. Now as I'm maintaining 300, you can see the altimeter climbing 700, 800. Add a little more back pressure to get it to 300. Now reduce power to 0.7. And level off at 1,000. And that's basically it. So I'm at 0.7, flying 1,000, flying at Angels 1000. See it dropping a little bit. And I'm not worried about my speed now. I'm just going to maintain 1,000 meters and leave it at 0.7, and keep circling the base. And you'll see the speed slowly increase. It'll start to basically level off at around 350. And that's it. So basically just maintain this, and then the idea is pick whatever altitude you want, but as far as pitching for 300, or if you want to be more specific, just you could pitch for whatever speed you like, above 280, but 300 I think is a good number. So I'm going to bring my pile down. Start descending. I forget which way I just took off from. I'm going to let it go a little bit below 500. So when I start to pitch back up to 500 meters, and then I'll reduce my speed to 350, I can go ahead and lower my gear. And then as as my speed drops to 250, I'll start lowering my flaps. Increase my power a little bit. And a lot of times as I'm coming in base to final, I'm at 200 meters and my speed is 200 kilometers an hour. Make sure my flaps are all the way down. Watch my speed. Low and slow. Usual bounce. And that's it.